Day 45. I had stopped looking at the horizon. I was just a ghost waiting to leave his body. Then, I felt it before I heard it. A deep, heavy rumble vibrating through the salt water. I cracked my eyes open, crusted with salt, and saw a wall of rusted steel. A Taiwanese cargo ship. It looked like a floating skyscraper. When the crew pulled me up over the railing, I weighed 110 pounds. My legs gave out instantly. I couldn't stand, but I could cry. I wept like a child on that hot steel deck. The ocean took my ship, my pride, and almost my life out there. But it gave me something back. It stripped away all the noise. It taught an old grease monkey from Ohio that every single breath you take is a privilege. Don't wait until you're stranded in the middle of nowhere to tell your kids you love them. Because when the dark closes in, that love is the only compass you have left. The movies get it wrong. Survival isn't full of action, it's mostly waiting. The first week, you fight the panic. You scream at boats that aren't there. The second week, the hunger hollows you out. But by week 3, you fight your own mind. I rigged a piece of plastic to catch rainwater, praying to a God I hadn't spoken to since Sunday school. When it didn't rain, you do things you'd never tell your grandkids about. I caught triggerfish with my bare hands when they came to eat the algae off the raft. I ate them raw, sucked the moisture out of their eyes just to keep my tongue from swelling shut. But the nights were the hardest. I'd lay there shivering, looking at the stars, thinking about my daughter, Sarah. She was getting married next spring. The thought of not walking her down the aisle, that hurt worse than the thirst. My name's Arthur. I'm 52. Spent 30 years as a mechanic back in Ohio, wiping grease off my knuckles, fixing other people's transmissions, and dreaming of the ocean. I saved every extra dime for 10 years to buy the Horizon, a 30-foot sailboat. The goal was simple: cast off from California and let the wind take me to Hawaii. One last grand adventure before my knees completely gave out. But the ocean doesn't care about a working man's dreams. On the 4th night, the temperature dropped. The barometer didn't just fall, it plummeted. It wasn't a normal storm. Out of the pitch black, a rogue wave hit us. A 40-foot wall of water that smashed into the horizon like a runaway freight train. I had exactly 2 minutes before she went under. Everything I worked my whole life for, gone in the blink of an eye. All I managed to grab was the cord to this tiny 6x6-foot inflatable life raft. You think you know what silence sounds like. I used to think it was the quiet of my garage in Ohio after turning off the air compressor at midnight. But out in the middle of the Pacific, silence is heavy. It presses down on your chest. It was day 18. The sun was beating down like a welding torch, and my skin felt like it was peeling right off the bone. I leaned over the edge of my raft, staring down into that terrifying, bottomless blue. That's when I saw it. A shadow. Massive. Silent. Circling just 20 feet below me. I wasn't just a man dying of thirst anymore. I was bait.